Hello, welcome to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name's Angela. I'm coming to you from South Wales in the UK. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Rainbow Ange. Today is Friday the 11th of August and I'm coming to you from my yarn shop. We're called Yarn and Yarns and we're based in Penarth, just outside of Cardiff. A big thank you to anyone who is coming back to join me again today, and a big hello and welcome to anyone who might be popping by and watching for the first time. So here on my channel you will find videos about my adventures in knitting, crochet, spinning, and also a little bit of chatter about my adventures as a yarn shop owner, and that's what today's video will be about. So for my last shop update video, which was vlog 18, I basically popped by to tell you about the disaster that we'd had in the shop. We have had a roof leak, or we had a roof leak at the time. Thankfully, we're now all up and running again. We had to close the shop for a week in the end. So the landlord did get the building repaired pretty quickly. It could have been a lot worse. We're all up and running again, everything back to normal, and we have had some torrential downpours since the repair was carried out, and touch wood, we've had no further issues. So it looks like the repair work that was done by the landlord's builder has done exactly what was intended, which is great news. So yeah, it was a little bit of a chaotic couple of weeks. I had to come backwards and forwards to the shop even while it was closed, just to meet the landlord and builders and various things like that. So it wasn't a nice restful week and I was hoping to use that week as a way of catching up with some of the other jobs that I've got related to Yarn and Yarns, things like working on the website and things like that, but I really didn't have a good chunk of time to really concentrate on anything like that. So it looking back now, it was a bit of a wasted week, but you know, these things happen and there are only so many hours in the day. So other than the leak, what's been happening at the shop? I guess the main thing, I have changed the window display. So I try to change our window displays every 6 to 8 weeks or so. If you've watched these videos before, you'll know that I try and pick a broad theme, and then as the weeks go on I might change little bit elements of what's going on in the window just to keep it fresh. But as I'm sure you can imagine, if you're a maker yourself, trying to make things for the window takes up quite a lot of time. So as much as I'd love for it to be changing all the time, it's just not possible time wise to be able to do that. So for this theme I decided to choose babies and children. I had an idea in my head that I wanted to get a little cot for the window, and then just do something really quite simple. And thankfully one of my lovely customers kept an eye out for me and was walking through our local town and spotted a small cot in one of the charity shops here, which was absolutely perfect. So she very kindly went in and grabbed it, and it's now proudly on display in the window, and it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. But she made a brilliant spot. As you can imagine, I'm tied to the shop quite a lot of the time, and I really only get Sundays off. So in terms of like sourcing props and things for the window, it was absolutely fantastic to be able to chat to my customers about the idea that I had, and for one of them to think of me, and as they were walking around and spotted exactly the perfect thing. So yeah. And as per usual, a window change here creates lots of excitement amongst the regular customers, which is really nice. And I shall pop in a little video here of what the window looks like, and chat to you about some of the makes in a minute. So this is the window as seen from inside of the shop. You can see obviously the cot here. I've just put a little display of yarns in the corner, and then on the other side behind the baskets there's a couple of baby garments and things. So that's the back view, obviously not the most exciting view. I shall just step outside of the shop now and show you what it looks like from the front. So hopefully you enjoyed that quick clip. I didn't really do a commentary while I was stood outside the shop. The delivery's happening across the road, and also there were a few people walking by on the other side of the road, so I thought I probably looked crazy enough filming my window let alone chatting to myself while filming. So yeah. Hopefully what you should have just seen was the view from the front as you're outside of the shop. I've placed the cot very centrally in the window. I've got the little heart mobile that I made. If you watched my previous video, I'm chatting all about that particular make. If you did watch the last video, I mentioned that I was thinking about potentially adding a couple more hearts to hang off of that mobile, but in the end it didn't really need it. So that particular project stayed as you saw it last week. Also my rabbit was sat in the cot, so again I chatted about that particular finished project last week. And then in the either side of the cot I had the one display of some of the baby yarns, and then on the other side there was a couple of pattern books and some baby garments. Now the garments, I have to confess, I didn't make. They were leftovers from the previous owner. When she cleared out what she wanted to take from the shop, she had quite a big pile of hand knits which she left behind, and said to me that I could use them or as I wished, or give them away, or whatever I wanted really. So I've actually got a box of them at home which I'll be sending off to Knit for Peace when I have a moment to put that parcel together. But there was a few bits and pieces that I thought would be quite nice to keep to use in the shop, and that's what I've done with some of the baby garments. Sorry, you saw my hand shoot across the screen there. I was waving at one of the shop owners across the road. So yeah, the other project in the cot you would have noticed is the baby blanket, and I was very lucky in that one of my lovely customers made it. Actually, it was the same customer who spotted the cot, so yeah, I should probably put a sign up in the window and give her complete credit for for this time's window display, as she was able to find that for me, and she made the biggest project for the window. But yeah, and coincidentally the blanket fits perfectly inside the cot, and that wasn't planned at all. It just so happened to be, which is great. She'd already started the blanket before we got the cot, so it's just complete coincidence that it was the perfect fit. That blanket she crocheted from a Serdar pattern, which I've been very underprepared and not had with me, but it's a sort of a zigzag pattern, but there's some eyelet holes in it, so it's a little bit different than the normal sort of ripple. But yeah, it's very nice, and we used Stylecraft Special DK yarn, which is 100% acrylic yarn, but it's super soft and lovely, and if you've ever used it or come across it, you'll know it's absolutely perfect for blankets. It's become very popular in the last few years thanks to some of the very prominent bloggers like Lucy of Attic 24. She makes lots of her blankets with Stylecraft, and it is lovely to crochet with. So we picked 3 colours, or I picked 3 colours. My customer Jackie just said to me, just tell me what you want me to make, and I'll make it. So I picked the silver, which is this colour, and then a grey, and also a beigey neutral colour which is called parchment, which I've used quite a lot myself in previous projects. It's a nice neutral. It sets off a lot of the other colours that they have in their range. So yeah, I think that's probably it for the window. As usual, or as has become usual, we've had some brilliant feedback, which is always really lovely. It makes the efforts that we go to make all the things and you know, put it all together really worthwhile when you get such lovely feedback. So yeah, I'm excited to the street's a lot quieter in terms of passers-by at the moment. We're situated next door to a school, and obviously we're in school holidays, so I'm quite excited to see reaction from some more people over the coming weeks, as it won't be long before the kids go back to school, and I'm pretty sure that the window won't get changed again before that. So yeah, that will also be a fun thing to look forward to. Aside from the window, we've not had huge amounts going on in the shop, so this should be quite a short video. I will show you a couple of new yarns that we've had in, and also one of the most exciting things is that we are now a supplier, or a stockist I should say, of Plom magazines and publications, which I'm so excited about because it's my favourite publication. So it's fun to introduce some of my regular customers who might not have come across Plom before to that publication. The books are lovely. I'm sure many of you will have already bought some of your own or seen them, and you'll know what I'm talking about, but I'll just grab some of those to quickly show you. So new yarns. Hopefully I haven't shown you these before. I have started to do a little book with show notes, but I've left it at home today, and I'm sort of recording this a bit on the fly, so I do apologise if perhaps I have shown you these before, but I don't think I have. So we've got a new type of sock yarn in store, and I did chat a little bit about this on my makes video because I have already started a project using this yarn, and yeah, I think I'm just going to go grab that project. So the yarn that I'm talking about is Head Over Heels from Stylecraft Yarns, which is a sock yarn. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that Stylecraft is a new brand for us here at Yarn and Yarns, and I'm gradually trying out some of the things. I was very familiar with their special DK yarn because I'd used that for my own crochet projects and things in the past, and when I took over the shop I knew that I definitely wanted to bring that in, but some of the other Stylecraft yarns I haven't really used so much myself, so I'm gradually trying out a few things and seeing what's popular amongst the customers here. But recently Stylecraft have started to supply their sock yarn in smaller packs, which is great for small retailers like myself. Quite often sock yarns come in packs of 10, and as a small shop there's just no way I would get through a pack of 10 of the same colour quickly enough. Probably be sat in the shop for quite a while before we sort of turn that over. So when Stylecraft said that they were providing smaller packs for retailers, I jumped at the chance at trying out a few of their colourways. So I've just started with 3. So the first one, this one that I've already showed you, nice pinks and oranges. That one's called Olympus. And then I have got Snowdon, which has got gorgeous purples and oranges and some sort of browny greys in there. Really nice, that one. And it knits up in a sort of striped effect. And of course Snowdon, the highest point in Wales, so had to go for that one. And then the final one, if you watched my video last week of my makes, you would have already seen this. This is the Ingleborough colourway, which is stripes of purple and green and blues, and this is the project that I've just grabbed to show you. I am knitting a pair of socks from this lovely yarn, and it's knitting up really nicely. I've pretty much finished. I've just got to Kitchener my afterthought heel on this one, and I've also finished the second sock apart from the afterthought heel, so with any luck these will be finished, perhaps by today if I get time. So yeah, I'm really enjoying working with this yarn. This pair of socks are for my partner James. We climbed up Ingleborough a couple of years ago when we were holidaying in the Yorkshire Dales, and James grew up in Yorkshire, so I decided I had to order the Ingleborough colourway so we could have some socks from that. I've got quite a lot left over. I've used contrasting heel stays and cuffs, so I've got this much left over. I think it's about 50 or so grams. I haven't weighed it since I started the second foot, but I'm pretty sure that's about what I'm going to have left here, and I'm going to make myself a pair of socks from that as well. But I'm sorely tempted to then cast on with this colourway, because I mean orange is my favourite colour, and this has got gorgeous oranges and pinks and purples, and yeah, so that could be in my not too distant future. So that's it for the head over heels yarn. The other new yarn from Stylecraft that I've brought into the shop is, and it's a brand new yarn for Stylecraft as well, is a double knit yarn, and it's called Tweedy. It is an acrylic cotton mix. It's lovely and soft, and it comes in 4 shades. As I say, it's a new yarn launch, so I decided to go with this one because I might have spoken previously, bringing in new yarns can be quite expensive for a small, or for any retailer, but as a small retailer it can be quite a financial investment to bring in a nice range of colours in something new, particularly when you're not sure how well it's going to perform. While the stock sat on the shelf, obviously it's not turning over, and it's not bringing you any income, so it can be a bit challenging trying to decide what you think will be popular amongst your customers. So when this Tweedy came out in just 4 colourways, I thought it was definitely worth taking a chance to see how they go. So these are the 4 colourways all together. I keep changing my mind on what's my favourite. I think it's got to be this one, which is called Bracken. It's lovely autumnal shades, which are definitely more my sort of colours. But there is also this one, which is called Moss, which is lovely blues and greens. And then we have Heather. I think this is probably my second favourite after Bracken. It's almost like a muted rainbow in effect. Yeah, so lots of lovely colours in that one. And then the final one is called Thistle, which is nice bright pinks and greens and blues, and there's a bit of orange and things in there as well. One of my customers is crocheting a scarf, and she said it's absolutely gorgeous to work with. I wasn't sure how well it would crochet. Obviously I don't know if you can see, I'm not very good at getting my phone to focus, but the way that the yarn's plied, I thought perhaps it could be a bit splitty for crochet, but she said that it's absolutely gorgeous to work with. So with any luck, she's almost finished her project. It's just a really simple, lovely, big cozy wrap scarf. So with any luck, once she's finished, she'll let me take a picture, and if I remember, I'll share it on a future podcast. But if she does let me take a picture, it will definitely be on our Instagram feed and our Facebook page. So we're Yarn and Yarns on both of those social media platforms as well. So if you don't follow us over there already, then pop on over. I quite often share projects that our customers have made from yarn or patterns that they've purchased in the shop. I love it. I love it when people bring back their projects, because you know, I'm sat here surrounded by all this lovely yarn, and it's so tempting to want to cast on all the things. But as we know, you know, each project takes time, and there's not that many hours in the day. So it's nice to be able to live vicariously through all of my customers and the projects, beautiful things that they're making. So yeah, that's one of my favourite parts of doing this job, is seeing all the lovely things that everyone else has been making. So other than that, the only new thing that we've got on the yarn front is one of my local producers, Yarn from the Farm, which was the first local producer that I had in store. She has 100% Romney yarn from sheep from a farm very local to here, just 10-15 miles up the road. And this week she brought in a few new colours in her DK range, so I'll just go grab those and flash those on the podcast quickly. So prior to this, I have had some of her lovely double knit in the natural colourway, but she has been doing a bit of dyeing recently, and she's brought in these two, oh look at those, absolutely gorgeous colourways in her double knit yarn. Yeah, oh yeah, yummy. I mean, they just look gorgeous. Yeah. This colourway she's calling Damselfly, and this colourway is Clover. And also, I thought it was just the double knits, but also we've got a new colour in her sock yarn as well. And this colourway is a lovely sort of tonal purple. You can see there we've got these sort of deep, rich, almost aubergine colours through to very light sort of purple colours. And that one she's calling her Slow colourway. So yeah, they're really fun new local yarns into the shop. Actually, in one of the new books that we've got, perhaps I shall grab it. Just bear with me one moment. I think it's in the Wool Journey book, which is one of the newest Plom Press books. I'm just going to quickly flick through and see if I can find the project. Yes, here we are. I won't show you the pattern page because I don't want to give away any secret sauce, but there is a lovely pair of leg warmer, colourwork leg warmers in this book. I'm not entirely sure how they're pronounced, but it could be Aith or Ith. And there they are. And there's another picture on the next page. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? And they're knit in fingering weight yarn. And I'm thinking, these two colours, what do you think? Let me know. Too bright? I think they're awesome. This one's really blowing out on camera. It's a much deeper, richer yellow than is showing up here. But yellow and purple in those leg warmers. Eee! This could be a cast on in my near future. What do you think? Let me know below. Too bright? Too garish? I don't know. I mean, I just think they look awesome together. So yeah, that's Yarn from the Farm, and as I say, 100% Romney. So it's quite a rustic yarn. So I think this would be nice as a pair of leg warmers that you're not necessarily putting right up against your skin. So yeah, any thoughts? As I say, let me know. That brings us nicely on to the Plom. I wonder if Pom minds that I've just renamed their whole brand Plom. Doesn't sound quite as nice, does it? Maybe I could set up a rival publication called Plom. No, I'm just being silly now, aren't I? Get on with it, Ange. Right, so yes, Pom magazines. I have now become a stockist, which is super fun. So I've gone for the latest 2 issues of the magazine. So I have a couple of copies of Spring 2017, and which is issue 20, and then a couple of copies of the Summer 2017, the anniversary issue left. Now, One of the sad things about my shop leak is that I had a beautiful display of all of these new Plom publications in the window, and they got completely ruined. So I went from having several copies to just a couple of copies left, and they've actually been selling pretty well as well. So that's really exciting for me, because I just love Plom, and it's nice to sort of see that enthusiasm starting to spread among some of the local customers here. So aside from the magazines, obviously I have the Wall Journey, which I've just shown you. I've got Take Heart, which I think was one of the first, or if not the first, Plom publication other than the magazines. Obviously the magazines come out quarterly. These are sort of standalone publications. So this one is Take Heart, and all the patterns are by Fiona Alice. And then I also have the Interpretations series, which are by Johi Locatelli and Vera Valimaki. So I've got all 4 iterations of that. And I'm super excitedly waiting for their next publication, which will be designs from Bristol Ivy, who is one of my favourite designers. So I'm really, really excited about that. I've put a pre-order in for that, but we're just on waiting list at the moment while they finalise the publication and details about how much it's going to cost, etc. Yeah, so that's really exciting. The new Plom quarterly will be out shortly soon as well. They've started to release teasers on Ravelry and things for all of the patterns that were in that magazine. So hopefully within the next week or so, we shall have that in store as well, which is yeah, really exciting. Okay, I think I'll probably wrap up there. There's not really that much else to say, other than, again, I'm so glad that our water damage was no worse than it was. Inconvenient to have to close this shop for a week, particularly as I feel like we're just really getting on our feet, and we've recently had, or started to get, new people finding us, and we've had some lovely reviews and feedback on our Facebook page, which is really nice. So it just felt a little bit disheartening, but yeah, could have been a lot worse, and we're back up and running now, and touch wood, things have been okay. You know, we haven't been affected too much. Customers are coming back to us and have realised that we're reopened, and yeah, business, I don't think, has suffered too much because of that closure. So yeah, thank you once again for joining me. Big woolly hugs to you all, and I shall be back hopefully next week with one of my project update videos, and yeah, so I hope to see you again then. Bye.